Hey, welcome to Ultimate Survival Tips. I'm David, coming to you from Command Central, Studio B in the amazing Endless Mountains of north central Pennsylvania, where my friend Derek the Genius and I just finished shooting a video to try and get on CBS's amazing race in an upcoming season. Well, today I'm really excited to review our first knife from Cold Steel, the Cold Steel SRK. SRK stands for Survival Rescue Knife. So we'll take a look at this knife from just about every angle and talk about who this knife is for and who should look for a different blade. And before we're all done, we'll compare the Cold Steel SRK to a few other popular survival and tactical knives from Gerber, SOG, and Schrade. So let's dive in and talk about the overall construction of this knife. The total length of the Cold Steel SRK is a hair over 10 3/4 inches or 27.3 centimeters. I measured the blade length of my SRK from handle to tip at 6 1/16 inches or about 15.4 centimeters. So the handle is just shy of 3 1/4 inches. Next, this knife weighs about 8.2 ounces or 232 grams, and with the sheath package it weighs in at 11.65 ounces or around 330 grams. It's interesting that this blade is similar in size to the SOG Force, which weighs in at about 10.3 ounces, yet the SRK is actually as light as the Grylls Ultimate Survival Knife, which weighs in exactly the same as the SRK at 8.2 ounces. So one early observation that I have with this knife is how small and maneuverable it feels. It doesn't feel like the serious 6-inch bladed knife that it is, and that's good. So here's a collection of great knives from SOG, Gerber, Schrade, all compared to the Cold Steel SRK, which is the 6th knife from the left. So from the left we have the SOG Seal Pup, the Grylls Survival Knife, the Gerber Prodigy, the Gerber LMF2 ASIC, the SOG Force, the Cold Steel SRK, the Schrade Extreme Survival Knife SCHF3, and the SOG Seal Team Elite. For more, you can check out my reviews of all of these knives at Ultimate Survival Tips on YouTube. Now let's talk a little bit more about the blade. The blade of the Cold Steel SRK is full tang construction, which means the handle and the blade steel are one solid piece of metal from tip to butt. It is the strongest blade handle construction technique. Although you can't see the knife steel in the handle of the SRK, I've verified with Cold Steel that this knife is full tang. SRK steel is AUS 8A stainless steel, which is regarded as a very nice steel for a general, all-purpose knife like the SRK. To add to the corrosion resistance of this knife, Cold Steel coated this knife with what they call Tough-X, which is akin to Teflon. In my testing, I found this coating to have a good resistance to wear, but honestly, like just about every knife coating, it's not going to last forever, especially if you use this capable knife for bushcraft, which you should. So just take some general care of this blade and it could last for a lifetime. I recommend simply wiping your knives down occasionally with a bit of mineral oil on a soft rag, paying particular attention to wiping down the edge. Okay, let's talk about the edge and point design. Cold Steel SRK has a fine edge, which means no serrations, and the SRK has a clip point. Clip point knives have the spine side of the blade clipped off to form a tip that is sharper and more suitable for piercing and tasks like skinning or carving that require more blade point accuracy. Here's the Cold Steel SRK compared to a classic drop point blade. Okay, you see the difference in the angle of the point? And because the SRK has nearly a straight clip and not a pronounced concave clip like on the SOG Seal Team Elite, the Cold Steel SRK point is going to be inherently less likely to snap off under demanding activities that put lateral stress on the tip. Cold Steel's choice in point design is a nice solution for a knife designed for rescue and survival situations requiring point strength, piercing ability, and acute cutting. Now let's talk a bit about the handle. SRK handle is a nice size for those with large and smaller hands like mine. This handle is overmolded in a seamless, rubberized, and very comfortable grip. Honestly, this is the grippiest handle of any of the survival knives that we've reviewed to date. On the sides of the handle, we have this raised dimple pattern of rubberized nodules that provide great grip in all directions to channel water in wet conditions. On the top and bottom, we have rubberized raised lateral grooves that are especially designed to prevent your hand from sliding forward onto the blade and prevent the knife from sliding out of your hand. On the front of the handle toward the blade, we have this nice sized quillon. Quillons are designed to prevent your fingers from sliding forward onto the blade and the cutting edge. So the back of this handle is about straight, and the bottom has almost imperceptible cutouts to add to the ergonomics of this very simple handle. Hands of all sizes should find this handle very comfortable, even when being used for extended periods. Now at the bottom end of the handle, there's a slight widening taper to the handle. See this? This tapered end helps keep the knife in your hand, and it also serves to make it pretty easy to keep this knife from flying away when chopping. About a ½ inch from the butt of this knife, there's a lanyard hold formed from a snappy brass-looking grommet that goes the whole way through the handle to the other side. Now you've probably noticed already that this knife doesn't have a butt-end pommel, as there's no steel protruding from the base of this knife like many other survival, rescue, and tactical knives. So the butt of this knife is just covered over in this grippy material. Now let's talk a little bit about the sheath. My knife came with a Kydex type sheath. The sheath seems to be made of a very rigid, durable, precision-molded polymer that appears to be two pieces fused together and firmly held with 12 solid metal grommets strategically placed at major stress points around the sheath. The SRK locks in the sheath through a simple friction lock. It does hold the knife really tight and secure in the sheath. And then there's this handle strap with a metal snap to hold the knife securely against the sheath. Now the cold steel SRK sheath can be set up for left or right hand carry through the simple, durable, and removable belt strap system on the back. The strap system is easily removed and repositioned with these two standard crosshead screws. Okay, now you should know that the sheath and strap system is primarily set up for belt carry, and it's got this nice Velcro and snap system that allows you to attach the sheath to just about any belt without removing it. Now the sheath doesn't appear to be MOLLE compatible. However, the belt carry strap system can easily be removed through some creativity and the addition of a strap or two. The sheath could be attached to a MOLLE vest or pack. Let's talk about overall performance. This knife performed really well in our bushcraft tests and was a joy to use for batoning. We beat this knife up pretty good and even through it, which is always hard on knives. But the edge remained relatively sharp and the knife showed surprisingly little wear. Now let's take a look at what owners say. Owners comment on this knife's ability to take some serious punishment and perform a variety of utility tasks well, and generally rate this knife well over 4 out of 5 stars. We found a few comments about issues with the sheath and mentions about this knife not having a butt-end pommel. But owners usually rave about the toughness of the steel and this knife's value for the money. We rate the cold steel SRK at 4.5 out of 5 stars for its versatility as a utility survival, tactical, and rescue knife. We appreciate the no-frills rugged design, attention to detail, fit and finish, steel choice, excellent sheath design, the well-thought-out grip, and the fact that this knife can be had for around $79 online in the US. We took off half a star because for a rescue knife, it would have been nice for this knife to have a butt-end pommel. So who's this knife for? The cold steel survival rescue knife is well designed for its namesakes, survival and rescue. And this knife would make a great all-around tool for camping, hunting, backpacking, military and tactical professionals, extreme adventures, bug-out bags, emergency preparedness kits, or for those who want a nearly indestructible knife for around the house or shop that could survive just about anything you throw at it. But if you want a more tactical or survival knife that comes with a MOLLE-compatible sheath, take a look at my reviews for the SOG Seal Team Elite, the Gerber LMF2, the Gerber LHR, or the SOG Seal Pup. But if you want a kick-butt, all-around utility fixed-blade knife that's built to last, and an online price of around $79 sounds good to you, we highly recommend the Cold Steel SRK Survival and Rescue Knife. So we've just taken a look at the Cold Steel Survival and Rescue Knife, the SRK. For your convenience, I've included links to all of the gear that I've mentioned in the video description on YouTube. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And for more gear reviews, survival tips, and survival news, check out ultimatesurvivaltips.com. And while you're there, grab our monthly survival e-mag, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, get the latest news, and be the first to hear about the great gear giveaway contests we have planned. Okay, this is David. I hope to see you on the other side. And remember, be prepared because you never know.